Thank you for coming along with story time with me. I hope you love this book as much as I do.
A Day on the River by Reinhard, Michl. This book is so fun. The author grew up where this book takes place, and it's from when he was a child. He's remembering his adventures as a child, and it is just darling. Paul, Bernie, and Thomas are playing hooky today, and no sooner has the day begun than the three boys are off to the river. Thomas rolls their inner tube ahead of him while Bernie carries the paddles. Besides his fishing rod, Paul has a bag of sandwiches for the boys. Will be out on the river all day. See the pretty heron? There's a lot of wildlife in this book. It's really fun. And there's a cool poster at the end I'll show you that shows all the wildlife. If it were up to the boys, they would spend every day of their lives on the river, and during summer vacations, it seems as if they actually lived there. No one knows the river better than these three do. When they speak of it, they sound mysterious. No one else in the world knows about the exciting places and things that are just a few bends farther downstream. There, if you knew where to look, you two would find Puma Island, the jungle, and the sea monster. Look at the mama ducks. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 baby ducks. 5 little ducks went out one day. Shivers run down the boys' spines as they pass by some huge roots and branches that reach up out of the river like claws. Can you see how they look like claws? The fingers are pointed out. Alone, any of the boys would have steered clear of this place, but together they give each other courage. Sometimes when they listen to the ominous swirling of the current here, the sunken tree becomes a huge black beast to them. A sea monster rising from the mysterious depths of the river. Look how happy they are. One's fishing, one's swimming, and he must be looking out to see if there's any sea monsters coming. Puma Island bulges up out of the river like the long white back of some underwater creature. The high waters leave all sorts of wonderful things washed up on the beaches of the island, and here the boys find the largest and rarest of shells and the most beautiful of stones. Paul even found a snakeskin once. The boys' tree hut and the leaning tower is a regular treasure trove by now, filled with the loot they have found on Puma Island. Oh, see all the little critters? Beaver here, a little finch, and this little, and look, there's a little snail. There's all kinds of fun stuff on the river. The banks on the other side of the island are mucky, like chocolate pudding, Thomas says. The mud oozes up between his toes, and when he pulls his foot out, it makes a loud sucking noise. How about a mud fight? He calls to Bernie and Paul. In reply, he gets 2 clumps of juicy mud on his hat. Soon the 3 boys are covered with mud, with only their teeth gleaming white and their laughing faces. I love mud squishing between my toes. I think it's the best. Have you had a mud fight before? Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. And it cools you right off when it's hot during the summertime. After the fight, they do a lot of swimming and diving from a springy willow branch to rinse off. Then, spluttering and blowing, Thomas surfaces with a piece of bent pipe. It's a trumpet, Paul yells, and Bernie asks, where'd you find it? There's a funny-looking wild man squatting down there in the roots of the willow. He has all kinds of old stuff. He gave me the trumpet as a present. You're full of baloney, Bernie and Paul say. If you don't believe me, go see for yourselves. They dive and find that Thomas was right. On the poster in the back of this book, you can see what it really was that Thomas found in the willow roots. I will show you at the end of the book. Now the boys get into their inner tube again. Softly, their paddles motionless. Hardly making a sound, they drift with the current and glide through a tunnel of shimmering green. Oh, look how beautiful that is. I want to go to this river. But soon they emerge from the jungle, and the iron monsters come into view. It's high time for the boys to think about their duties as boatmen again. This stretch of the river calls for skillful seamanship. Because each of the boys often acts as his own captain and helmsman, there can be some confusion at times, but in a real pinch, the boys work well together. See the iron monsters? We'll see those up close. The heavy, round heads of the winches hunched down between the broad steel shoulders of the dam like silent, gloomy monsters. The three friends really should stay away from the dam altogether. The yellow signs that say "No admittance" are everywhere. But the mechanical monsters hold an irresistible attraction for the boys. They'll just take a quick look. Seen up close, the iron monsters aren't really so scary. From the winches with their big interlocking gears, heavy chains hang down into the river. The three friends look longingly at the winches. "If we could only work them," says Bernie, "but the winches are tightly locked with heavy padlocks." Too bad. They're bigger than the boys. Aren't those huge? They work really hard. "Look, the river is laughing," Thomas yells. Below them, the river is rushing through the dam as if someone had turned on 1,000 faucets at once. Can you see? Here's the nose, and this is his big mouth, and 2 eyes. "The river has a face, you see it? It's laughing and roaring and winking at us." "Oh, come off it," Paul answers. Bernie throws a stick into the water. It shoots off like an arrow and soon disappears in the seething foam. "He just ate it with his big mouth," Paul shouts. "Come on, let's go. I'll get dizzy if I look at this very long." "And I'm getting hungry," Thomas says. "We should be putting our treasure away in a safe place, too," Bernie urges. "Right," Paul agrees. "So let's go to the Leaning Tower and build our campfire." That river sure looks hungry. Just as they're about to anchor in the harbor near the Leaning Tower, they hear a loud barking from the reeds. Then they see a scruffy little dog coming toward them. The dog may be small, but his bark is so fierce that the boys ready their paddles to fend him off. Darn, where'd that dog come from? Is it possible that... The same thought occurs to all of the boys at once, and they glance up from the yelping dog to their treehouse in the Leaning Tower. They see a small dirty foot sticking out of the treehouse door. No doubt about it, an intruder has found the boys' secret hiding place and occupied it. "Moses," a clear, bright voice calls out. "Moses, what's the matter?" Then a head of wild, shaggy blonde hair pops out the door. It belongs to a little girl with a face like a sunflower. She sits there, swinging her dirty feet in the air and petting her little dog. He wags his tail happily and is quiet. "Hi, I'm Eva. You don't have to be afraid of Moses. He's just keeping a good watch on our house. This is where Moses and I live." Those boys are thinking, "What? This is our treehouse." It takes a while to get things straight, but before too long, Eva understands that the boys are the real owners of the treehouse in the Leaning Tower. And the boys realize that Eva does not mean to spend the night here. Actually, she and Moses had moved in just a couple of hours earlier. For 2 weeks now, she has been living in the same apartment building where Bernie, Paul, and Thomas live. Maybe it's because she has such a pretty sunflower face, or because her feet are so black with dirt. At any rate, the three friends suddenly find they're not angry with her at all anymore. "That's a terrific dog you've got," Bernie says. "The sandwiches are a bit soggy after a long hot day on the water, but they still taste wonderful once they've been toasted over the fire." Eva knows how to build and tend a fire as well as the boys do, and before they know it, they have given her 3 shells from their treasure trove. They're all so busy talking, poking the fire, and roasting their sandwiches that no one else has noticed how quickly the sun is going down. They've been on the river all day. That sounds lovely. "Hey, it's getting dark," Eva exclaims. "I've got to go home." "We do too," Bernie, Paul, and Thomas say. They carefully put out their fire with a lot of mud. "We'll take you home," the boys all say at once. To Moses' delight, Eva gets a place of honor in the inner tube. Oh boy, does that look like fun? After a day on the river, they all fall asleep quickly. An owl whisks over the water, and the moon climbs up between the trees. As it shines through our friends' windows, they dream of new adventures on their river, and Moses growls softly in his sleep. I'd like to read a little bit about what the author said. It says, "This picture book doesn't tell an imaginary story. I grew up near the mouth of the Danube, close where the old mill stands. I've experienced many days on the river as described here. Today, everything looks totally different. The old water, Altwasser, and the old trees are gone, and with them the wild mallards, kingfishers, herons, and many other animals. Children growing up now run on roller skates over a concrete road along a bare straight dam. I wanted to relive once more what was once so important and ordinary to my friends and me. With this picture book, this landscape will soon give way to questionable improvements, not only at the old mill site, but all along the original flow of the river, with its reed belt and crooked willows. These few miles of Amazon in the middle of our landscape will be destroyed by civilization. We simply must preserve this. We cannot sacrifice another mile, not only for the mallard, the kingfisher, and the heron, but for ourselves. He was born in Bavaria in West Germany. Isn't that so cool? So number 1 is a crayfish. Number 2 is a marsh frog. Number 3 is a dragonfly. Number 4 is a female mallard with young ducklings. 1, 2, 3, 4 ducklings for number 4. Number 5 is a blue-headed wagtail. Oops, I called it a finch in the book, so this is a blue-headed wagtail. Number 6 is a gray heron. Number 7 is a perch. Number 8 is a muskrat. Number 9, way up here, is a buzzard. Number 10 is a long-eared owl. Number 11 is a magpie. Number 12 is a coot. That's a funny word for a bird, huh? Number 13 is a pike. Boy, that fish has some big lips. He's funny looking. Number 14 is a kingfisher. Number 15 is a little loon. And number 16 is a pearl mussel. And this is the beautiful poster that is at the back of the book that I will show you. Oh gosh. Don't want to open. Woo-hoo. And see, this is the man who gave them the trumpet. He's got fish eyes and a bucket on his head. And see his arms? They look like, these are pots and tin cans probably. And this is like an accordion. And this must be from maybe a washing machine or something. There's a clock, a teapot. There's boot for a foot. And this is a rake. And see his legs are just sitting here. So he came down, and came and got the trumpet from him. And then he brought it up to his friends. Isn't that a fun book? I hope you enjoyed this. I love this book. Every time I read it, I just want to go and float down the river and look at all of the fun wildlife that's living along the river. And I too agree with Reinhard. It's so important to keep wildlife so that we can have an area to be able to explore and have places that are undeveloped so that children can use their imagination and we can pause and have quiet. If everything gets developed, there won't be places to pause anymore and to be quiet and still. So I hope you enjoyed that book and have your own adventure on the river too. Happy reading!